Good morning, guys. For those of you who would like to get your car, truck, or Mini Cooper worked on, and you live up in the Worcester area, go to Greasy's Garage, ask for Pete. They can fix whatever you got, and they always carry Bears products. And for those of you who'd like to learn more about Bears products, call David at 615-854-3057. And remember, you get 10% off for being from the channel. Also, for those of you who want a cool sweatshirt, t-shirt, go to libtardtees.com. Let's go ahead and start with down in Colombia. So Colombia expresses protest over Russia violating its airspace. The foreign minister pointed out that Russian aircraft repeatedly violated the flight clearance conditions established by Colombia. I would say to the government of Colombia, you've got a lot bigger problems than Russia flying over your airspace. A lot bigger problems in your country. As a matter of fact, considering the fact that you have such a horrible time getting things under control with the gangs and the cartels and everything else, maybe instead of getting mad at Russia, maybe you ought to ask Putin if he could give you some help. I would say ask the U.S., but until we have Trump back in there officially and helping, you're stuck with just asking Putin for help. But I would do that first rather than complaining. Let's go to the Gateway Pundit here. So on Monday, former Special Assistant to President Trump, Boris Epstein, joined Steve Bannon on the War Room. Epstein pointed out that both Dominion Voting Systems and Perkins Coie are losing their ever-loving minds over the upcoming Arizona Senate audit. So if Democrats want free and fair elections, then why are they blocking an audit of the ballots in Arizona at every turn? Because they know what's going to happen. They know that they're going to turn up tens of thousands of fraudulent votes. That's why. They know what they did, and they know what's going to happen. And then this, it says, these white kids, this is in Minneapolis, these white kids were likely assigned as riot managers in Minneapolis. So they told black protesters to quit hurling ice bottles at police. Boy, was that a mistake. And from one of the black protesters, he says, shut the F up, bitch. And female black protester, you're in a black space. Remember that. You're white. You're white. You already don't belong. If you can't be a guest in a black space, then get the F out. And white protester says, I'm not trying to. And then the female black protester, but you are, so shut the F up. And so anyway, yeah, you got a lot of angst. And I tell you what, Maxine Waters and others, they're really ginning up the hate in every way, shape, and form that they can. Moving on to some other stuff here. Stanford study results. Face masks are ineffective to block the transmission of COVID-19 and actually can cause health deterioration and premature death. We've known this for almost a year now. But what's happening is that you have studies being done by credible people, and they're showing the truth. They're pointing the truth out. And you have Silicon Valley trying to stop it. You can't stop it. Can't do that. And it's just, there's too many avenues. And then Minneapolis Mayor Fry joins Mad Maxine, blames police for George Floyd's death as rioters prepare to pillage the city. The guy is such a prostitute. He really is. The Chinese Communist Party, I mean, you're encouraging people to destroy your city? Yeah. Is it any wonder why you have people in businesses leaving Minneapolis? Not to mention a whole host of other cities. And then the Chinese Communist Party has an extensive research network supporting biowarfare. You know, something a number of countries do. The U.S., Russia, yeah, they're not the only ones. And then the truth is that racism runs through the history of the United States. Harvard emailed its stakeholders. Looks like it was written by BLM. No, the truth is that racism did not run through the history of the United States. Yes, is there racism here? Yes. Yes. And but guess what? Guess what? Here for the last many years, it's been created, and you know who's been supporting it? It's a bunch of old white men. Even 20, 30, 40 years ago. Guess who was supporting the Black Panthers, the KKK, the Spanish groups? Guess who? Is a bunch of old white men. They were supporting all of them. There's a bunch of old white wealthy men that have wanted chaos in this country. That's what they've been creating for many, many years. And then deep state effort to fabricate an American Reichstag fire blows up. You know something? It is blowing up in their face. People get what's going on. And then Mad Maxine Waters borrowed precisely from the KKK. Judge should have granted a motion for mistrial, says attorney Alan Dershowitz. And that's probably what's going to happen. If he's found guilty, they will file for mistrial. And the new poll finds voters are skeptical about Joe Biden's cognitive health. My guess is by now you have a number of Democrat voters who realize they voted for somebody with dementia. And then rioting terrorists once again destroy Portland, Target Youth Center, Popeyes, Natural Grocers. Let's see here. Walter Mondale. He passes away at the age of 93. Yeah. And was he corrupt? Yeah, he was. Let's see here. Just in, Trump tells Hannity he is beyond seriously considering a 2024 presidential run. That would be his third term. That would be why. And then convicted felon arrested after firing. And by the way, that's going to drive him crazy, the far left. And then convicted felon arrested after firing on National Guard members in Minneapolis following violent speech by Maxine Waters. Let's see here. And then here's funny. Maxine Waters requested police escort to escort her in Minneapolis, where she berated police, broke curfew, slams cops, and incites mob violence. They shouldn't have protected her. They should have said, screw you. We're not doing this. And then wife of murdered black police officer David Dorn lashes out at Maxine Waters and Democrats pushing violence. Exactly. You know, it's all coming out. And people see what's going on. People get it. And then Gretchen Whitmer. She's such a witch. She secretly vacationed to Florida during Michigan's COVID surge while telling Michiganders to stay home and avoid travel. The 25-cent question is, how much more are the people of Michigan going to put up with? And then James O'Keefe files lawsuit against Twitter in New York for false and defamatory statements. Good. And you know what's going to happen is that what you're going to see is you're going to see a boatload of civil lawsuits going at these big three companies. The big three are going to get slammed. In fact, there's probably going to be 4 or 5 these companies that are going to be just people with civil lawsuits are going to unload on them. Let's go to Zero Hedge here. Goldman analyst barred from securities industry for insider trading. And by the way, the Congress is still doing insider trading, for those of you that are wondering. Let's see here. Small caps are puking. Russian jets pound anti-Assad militant base in Syria, killing up to 200. Russia's military cited renewed efforts of illegal armed groups that plan terrorist attacks and attacks on government agencies in large cities. Japanese stocks slide as Tokyo pushes for third COVID state of emergency. Stupid to do. Lockdowns, the only thing they work to do is to destroy the economy. That's it. EU walks back embarrassing claim of 150,000 Russian troops near Ukraine border. Let's see here. Yeah, they're really trying hard to paint Putin as a bad guy, but he's not. And then Port of Los Angeles logs busiest first quarter on record following consumer spending surge. It says consumers are spending as fast as importers can stock the shelves. And then build your church's strengths. You know something? Our church has grown considerably in the last many months, and my guess is that there's like a revival going on all across the world. Ravo, we live in an age with absolutely no intellectual foundations. That's what they're trying hard to do. It says, look around you and see that our beliefs in how we should manage everything from ourselves as individuals to our family relations, to our local communities, to our political economy, to our borders, to our highest international architecture is all in flux. But it's not for us. Especially if you go out into rural America, you know something? Life is just going on like usual for the most part. You don't see a whole lot of people wearing masks anymore. You don't see a whole lot. People are just living their lives. Out here in the real world, we just live our lives. And Texas regulator tells Tesla he will subpoena data logs from fatal crash. Something wicked in Tesla could be in for a huge downturn. Be aware of that. Conservative Latchet will be German ruling party's candidate for chancellor in first post-Merkel vote. You know something? Germany, like everywhere else, they need a strong conservative leader, someone with some brains. And then WeWork will accept payment in Bitcoin as Venmo start allowing customers to trade crypto. I will say this about Bitcoin. You know how excuse me. You know how I feel about Bitcoin. And I'm just I'm just saying, don't think Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general, they lend their what they're a lot of them are used for is in the dark net. Be aware of that. That's not a good thing. Protester at Shanghai Auto Show climbs on Tesla, screams brake failure. Futures slide for second day. A Canadian National sparks bidding war with $30 billion offer for Kansas City Southern. Yeah, that's the railroad. Quarter of UK population wants to work at home forever, and you know, a lot of big companies, they're letting people work at home. It's cheaper. More German regulator accuses Deutsche Bank board member of insider trading linked to Wirecard. Renewables dominate the headlines, but oil and gas remain king. Is Bitcoin systemically important? Not to me. Chauvin judge. I'm just saying beware. And that's what I'm hearing. I'm just letting you know what I'm hearing. Is beware of Bitcoin. So if you've made a lot of money, in Bitcoin, just you might want to. There's an old saying: hogs get fat, pigs get slaughtered. Remember that. Chauvin judge blasts abhorrent Maxine Waters. Her words says may result in this whole trial being overturned. And then U2 guitarist backs nuclear power to help solve climate change. Anyway, that is all for now. God bless y'all. Have a great day, and I'll see you later this afternoon. Bye-bye, guys.